Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Bruce Guillory here with Health Source Chiropractic in Atascocita. Today's Thursday. It's May 11th. Cruising through the month of May here, getting warmer outside, getting to feel like summer light for us here in the Houston, Texas area, and getting ready to watch all these kids and educators be done with school for the year. So hope you guys are having a great spring so far. We've been a little damp here in the Houston area for a couple of days. I call it monsoon season for the last 2 days. And anyway, we survived, and hopefully you guys did as well. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you. I was thinking about all this rain that we had, and I was looking at my plants out on my patios, and I was looking at the grass and the trees, and this is an analogy that I've used many times over the years. I came up with it probably 10 to 15 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. And I think it's worthwhile talking about, especially when we have just had all this rain that we're having here. And, all of us probably know that we can, in the summertime when it gets really dry and hot here in Texas, we've got to water our yards if we want the grass to stay alive. We've got to water our plants if we want the plants to stay alive. And so we have sprinkler systems. We have, water hoses with sprinklers on the end of them, whatever you have. And you use that to keep the the grass alive. However, it's rather interesting that when it rains, how much greener and healthier everything looks. I was noticing the basil that I'm growing at my place is just so much more healthy looking this morning as I was checking on it, and just beautiful. As is the oregano that's growing there too. It looks phenomenal because we've had a couple of days of some pretty solid rains, and it reminded me of this analogy that I've used about the innate diet of grass or plants. Let's put it that way. When we water our plants from a water sprinkler system or the hose or whatever it is, the plants can survive. They do. They can put out jalapenos or whatever it is you're growing, or they can look pretty. They can look okay. They do good. But there's a whole nother difference when they get rainwater. They just look so much more beautiful than they typically would. And it made me think, when I thought about that years ago, about the difference between surviving and thriving. Those plants can survive when we water them with water out of our faucets. But when they get rain, which is more of the innate diet of grass or plants, when they get actual rainwater, minus the chlorine and the fluoride and the other things that might actually be in our drinking water, when they get actual water from the sky the way they're supposed to, they thrive. They don't just survive, they thrive. So you know what? You and I are the same way. We're living creations, just like those plants. And we could eat junky diets and survive. Absolutely. You could eat, fast food regularly and survive. But you won't thrive. You will have more illness. You will have more disease. You will have more health challenges. You will be susceptible to more serious disease. Anything from cardiovascular issues to cancer, if you spend your time eating things other than your innate diet and living in the innate lifestyle that you should live, where you move more appropriately, you eat appropriately, you think appropriately, you get appropriate rest, and you connect well with those around you. So the question you have to ask yourself is, do I just want to survive, or do I want to thrive? When I get into my 40s, do I already want to be on 4 different medications for blood pressure and blood sugar and this and that and the other thing? Or do I want to be getting to my 50s and 60s and 70s and not have to be on any medication because I'm thriving? Well, that just requires living the innate lifestyle. And just like those plants, when they get their innate diet, they thrive. We need to learn how to thrive and not just survive. The goal is not to survive. The goal is to thrive. Do you just want to have years in your life? Or do you want to have life in those years? That is largely based on how you live your life. You can take a medication left and right and still live the opposite of the innate lifestyle, and you'll survive. Maybe. You certainly won't thrive. Certainly won't thrive. It's like people that are constantly taking statin drugs for their cholesterol issues. And their cholesterol levels get to looking good, but they still die of heart attacks. It happens. It happens regularly because you're not living the innate lifestyle. All right, so that's my challenge for you today, is to figure out how you can live more innately the way you're supposed to. And that goes back to eating well, moving well, thinking well, resting well, connecting well. What are you going to work on today? What's your plan for the upcoming weekend? I did great work in some regards last weekend on living innately with regards to connecting with people. I connected with my great friends Ron and Missy and their son Jordan and some of Missy's relatives also. I connected well with my daughter and my brand new son-in-law from a little over a month ago. So I practiced connecting well. This weekend I'll do some of the same. I'm going to connect well with my loved ones, everything from my mother and my sister and my brother to my favorite lady, Michelle. We're going to be spending some time together this weekend up in the Fort Worth area. So what are you going to do to live more innately? And do you want to thrive and not just survive? Think about that. Hey, if you're getting this on our email today, I've got a great looking recipe to send your way. It's called the Spaghetti Squash Lasagna Boat. Picture looks unbelievable. If I was staying home this weekend, I would cook something like that. Hope you enjoy that too. Remember, we have all kinds of really cool things happening in our office these days, and I'm going to do another video probably before the day is up on some of that stuff because it's too long to do along with this video. And probably a Facebook Live and things of that nature. We're going to start talking about 3 new things we have the opportunity to help our patients with, which is fantastic. And we'll be in this afternoon from 2:30 until 6, and then tomorrow's Half Day Friday. So give us a shout if you need, 281-852-5600. We'd love to see your smiling face here. You guys have a great one. Decide to thrive and not survive. Take care now.